Greetings, my beloved Krystic family. Welcome. Come on in. We definitely have some things to talk about. If you saw the title, we are going to talk about eclipse season discernment, the truth about energy harvesting, false light, and Krystic protection. As we enter another eclipse corridor, one of the most potent energy windows of the year, it's become more and more important than ever to speak the truth clearly and to speak it now. I want to be crystal clear. This is not a transmission of fear. This is a transmission of discernment, beloveds, of guardianship, and of Krystic remembrance. Unfortunately, because we are in a hijacked system, there are beings, some knowingly and some unknowingly, who are using the collective anticipation and vulnerability of eclipse portals to engage in mass energy siphonings, to insert frequency overlays, and to distort what should be a sacred moment of realignment with Source and make it something far more sinister. And so I come today with truth in my mouth, with clarity in my field, and the full protection of guardian hosts, because the time for false light is over. The Krystic restoration is full underway, and you deserve to know what is really happening. So let's begin. First, we need to have an understanding of what eclipses actually are. And this is from a guardian-aligned perspective. Eclipses, especially solar eclipses, are dimensional pivotal points. A solar eclipse, remember, solar energy. So these are plasma pressure gates, where natural currents of our solar logos intersect with the crystalline architecture of Earth's plasma grids. So eclipses aren't inherently negative. They're powerful windows. And because of this power, they can be exploited, just like you, beloveds. So these gates naturally open pathways between dimensions, and not just between density 1, which is dimensions 1, 2, and 3, and density 2, which is dimensions 4, 5, and 6, but between the vectors and parallel Earths. And so every eclipse becomes a portal of potential for reconnection, for healing your codes, for soul retrieval. Many of you may already be experiencing this through the astral. But unfortunately, it also becomes a window for inversion, misdirection, and psychic siphoning. If you're not protected, beloveds, shields up. Always. We're in the 3D, in a hijacked system. Put your shields up, baby. It's all good. You're not being paranoid. You're using discernment. You are in alignment. That's a part of this process. Do it. It's okay. And again, don't wing it. I'll put that video in the description so you can watch it. It needs to be precise. Do your shielding properly. It doesn't need to be perfect as long as you're trying to follow the steps. Eventually you will get it, because what you are doing is remembering. Okay? Now, unfortunately, there's a lot of false light workers doing mass activations. And when I say false light workers, I'm not saying it like I'm better than them or we're better than them because we're Krystic and they're not. Most of them are unaware. Listen, Krystic is not some title. Krystic means that you have done the work to heal, to get into alignment with the eternal life, with Source, the true eternal life source. That takes time. That is a process. There are precision that happens in order for you to get into alignment. This is not about a title. This is not about us pointing fingers at one another. Okay? This is about those who are in true Krystic alignment and those who are not. So when I say false light, I mean those who are not in true Krystic alignment, are not in alignment with the Kryst. So many well-meaning facilitators who have been fed a bill of lies, some of them have large platforms. Some of them are deeply sincere and they don't realize because they've been hoodwinked. So they host these mass meditations, mass meditations, these activations, these ceremonies, portal ceremonies, all of these things that are happening during the eclipse. And they don't realize and understand that they are puppets, that they are minions for the dark, that there are beings that are way more advanced and highly evolved right now for this seeding, because many are dormant. You don't remember who you are. So people can tell you anything until you remember. That is the source of your power, your remembrance. That is one of the reasons why I'm here, to help you remember. Because when you remember, no one can lie to you. No one can pull the wool over your eyes. No one can siphon your energy. And it's not me trying to convince you. All I do is hold the key codes. You have to unlock to the remembrance when it starts to become Krystic clear to you. But until then, you don't remember. Many of these well-meaning facilitators do not remember. They don't know who they truly are. They do not remember the Kryst. What they remember is the false light, the Metatronic programming. They're all walking around spewing flower of death, Metatron's cube, doing all sorts of stuff, putting it into their activations, putting it into their ceremonies, doing all of that. Those are siphoning techniques that dark beings use. And again, these facilitators don't know. And then you go to a ceremony, they don't know. They think that they're, off somewhere praising angelics that are helping them. Yeah, right. And again, this is coming from someone who has come that way, who has been in a lot of these false systems and has worked her way out of it through remembrance, through the true Krystic path. That takes time, but one of the reasons why I'm here is to help you. So this video is a remembrance. Tune in. This is not a dictation. This is not an indoctrination. This is not dogma. This is remembrance. When you open your field during a mass meditation, especially during an eclipse, you're not just connecting to source, you're connecting to everyone else's field, including the hosts and whatever it is their field is connected to. So if you are there with a facilitator or facilitators that are being siphoned off of these darker beings, so are you. If the host is running Metatronic codes or has undealt with emotions, if they're not doing their shadow work, if they have implants, top one, if they got implants running in them, you're being influenced by those non-Krystic things and definitely non-Krystic beings. And that energy becomes a part of the activation. It becomes the activation. And again, like I said, many of these facilitators are working with these negative Anunnaki. Remember, we talked about what Anunnaki is and what Anunnaki means. Fallen beings. Fallen collectives. Collectives, beloveds. There's many of them. They go under different names. They come under very false pretenses. They pretend to be benevolent. They pretend to be angelic. They pretend to be all of those things. They are fallen. They are distorted. Some of them are even AI overlays, reverse Metatronic things. They teach reverse Merkaba spins that lock you in. You need your Merkaba to get out of here, beloveds. So every time you go to one of these things, all it's doing is distorting your Merkaba even more. Why do you think that is? So when it's time to ascend, you can't. And that's real talk. We're going to talk about the realness here because that's what's going on. It even goes as far as to be an astral siphoning. And this is the reason why this whole conversation came about, because I am a magi. When I am in the astral, I am a dream magi. Trust me. And what that means is, as conscious as I am in the 3D, I'm conscious in the 4. I don't fall asleep. I go into the astral. And so when I have astral experiences, I know how to decode them. I know how to detect if there are AI infiltrations, if there are mimic beings trying to pretend to be something that they're not. All of these things. And the experience that I saw in relation to this eclipse made me come on here and have this conversation with all of you. So even in the astral, especially around now, the astral will pick up. And these false beings, they use charisma and, what I call the spiritual Hollywood. So they'll use all the spiritual lingo, the new age imagery and the fantasy and all of that. They will even speak of Christ consciousness, but they will not be of the Kryst. They will talk about ascension to draw you in. But what's behind the grid is not Krystic, beloveds. And you must use your discernment. Now, I have an article on my blog about energy harvesting, but I'm going to just touch on it briefly because it's important to understand what it all means. So how energy harvesting happens is, first of all, let's be Krystic clear. Energy harvesting is real. It is real. Anytime you give your attention, your breath, your voice, or your consent to a space that is not sealed and sealed in the guardian host, you're leaving the door open to be siphoned off of. That's a real thing. And again, the guardians are not outside of you, so you're not trading off one for the other. Be mindful of that. The guardian host, that's your oversoul, beloved. That's you. So any type of mass events, I'm not telling you can't go to festivals and you can't go to concerts and you can't watch award shows and all that stuff, but shield up because that's where they go. And they're usually held on power days, right? Be mindful. Look at the days that these concerts and all these stuff are held around. They're usually held around solstices and equinoxes, eclipses. That's done on purpose. It's done to funnel plasma life force, your plasma life force, to funnel it towards synthetic grids and entities that feed off of your light. Again, be mindful of the astral. There's a lot happening right now in the astral. And that's what they keep showing me, the guardians. They keep showing me the 4D, shield up. Because especially right now, the siphoning systems that are operating in the 4D are no joke. And again, this is not fear. This is discernment. Most of you are not even remembering your dreams. You know why? You're being siphoned. If you're not remembering your dreams, if you cannot remember any of your dreams, that is a siphoning technique. That is an entity siphoning off of you. Call it what you want. And that's, again, not paranoia. We're talking about spiritual warfare. If you are not remembering your dreams at all, you are being siphoned. If you are remembering your dreams, if you go into the dream time and you're having all these really hijacked experiences, this is their tactic. This is how they go in. They use reverse symbols, hijacked lineages, right? So you may have a lot of ancestor experiences with Anunnaki. The Anunnakis are not your ancestors. They're not. The Anunnakis are fallen collectives. You may even have experiences in the astral with light beings. No, if you're not shielded, then you are opening yourself up to all sorts of stuff. And the ultimate goal is to push you into this recycled false ascension template that many people are under. In the spiritual community, everybody thinks that they're on the ascension path, but when truly they're not. And again, this is not about some members only thing. This is an energy alignment. Are you energetically aligned with the true ascension? You will know. If you're off worshiping something or giving your power away to something, anything external, that's not the true ascension path. The true ascension path is an internal process. It is only within. There's no force outside that's helping you. None of these ETs that are promising that they're going to come and fix our collective. They're going to come and fix our financial system. They're going to come and fix our medical. They're going to come and fix us. Fix all these things. These beings know of the law of one. They know that they're not supposed to be messing with the collective. You know why they're doing it? Because they're falling. They're already falling collectives. They're already distorted. And you know, when somebody is falling, they want to take as much people down with them as they can. Not everyone that's fallen is looking to heal. If they're in a downward spiral, they will take as many people down with them as possible. Misery love company, for sure. So you got to be mindful. So that's why some of these practitioners, some of these facilitators, unfortunately, they are working with the dark. They know. They're serving them. Just because we're in modern times, because back in the day, we knew that there were pharaohs that were praying to these Anunnakis and doing all these things. That we knew. Now it's hidden. You think it's only Hollywood that have satanic rituals or pray to certain deities and have offerings of your energy? That's what they offer. So be mindful. And again, this is not to make you afraid. It's to make you aware. So I'm going to share a little bit of my Dreamtime experience. I found myself carrying this red ledger. It was a long rectangular book with names inside. And it wasn't mine. It belonged to another facilitator. A facilitator that I once knew. A facilitator that I recognized. And this facilitator was running false light mimicking codes. This facilitator has mimicked and mirrored my work, was using my words, but wasn't walking the Krystic path. And I'm not saying in the dream this facilitator was doing that. This is a facilitator that I know in waking life that is mimicking my codes, that is mirroring my work, that is trying to be Krystic. Again, Krystic is not something you can fake. You can't cut and paste it. It is a process. It's an embodiment. So when I see that, when I observe that in the waking life, I mean, shields up. I mean, oversoul protection. I mean, scalar commands down. But other than that, I let it be. Because I know that those techniques and those tactics don't work. They only invert. So in the dream, I was trying to give back the ledger, but this facilitator was trying to lure me into an event that they were putting together, this activation. And they were trying to make it seem like they wanted me there under the guise of reunion. But I refused because, again, I don't fall asleep. I am a dream magi. So when I go in the astral, I am fully aware. I'm more vigilant in the astral than I am in the 3D for sure, because I know that there is some sinister things going on there. The red book that I held the names of, those were beings that were being siphoned, souls that were being siphoned off of from this facilitator. And the beings, the people, they didn't know. So buying the tickets or buying the whatever it is that they did, their names were written in this ledger. They had entrusted their energy to this facilitator. So it was their vibrational records, okay? And I knew in the dream that I'd been shown this to warn others, to help people protect their field, their DNA, their soul essence from inversion. Shield yourself up. If you get guided to go to an event, if you are on the Krystic path and your oversoul guides you to go to a specific event, because I've been guided to go to events. If you're on the Krystic path and you get guided to go to events, you know you're not going there to fan out. You're not going there to put your energy in there. Shield yourself up. Maharic, shield up. And then you are walking in your Krystic essence. Right? So it's important. So again, that dream experience is what led me to this, to come on here to express discernment when walking into these spaces that you are going to be in communion with people. Be really mindful. I always tell you all that. If you're going to a facilitator, what kind of work have they done? Who have they worked with? How has they cleared their field? How are they showing up? What are they talking about? Are they speaking from personal experience, or do they just keep regurgitating other things? Are they just throwing around a bunch of buzzwords? Look at that. Because you can't fake the Krystic path. You can't fake true alignment with your oversoul. You can't fake it. You can try as you might. You can collect every course that you want. You can buy up all the activations you want. None of those things are going to help you if you don't truly align with the path. And that is the inner work. So if you're not doing it, it's not going to work. So again, I'm not saying, oh, you're not Krystic, blah, 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 separating. No, this is about energy alignment. And you need to be mindful and look around at the people that you are giving your time, your energy, your money, all of those things to. Look at that. Because all of that is entanglement. All of that is energy. I talk about energy exchange all the time. People will tell you, put it in the comments if you've ever had a connection with me where you go onto my website and you try to get something and it glitches. I've had so many people reach out. Oh, I think there's something wrong with your website. No, beloved, it's Krystic. You have to get into alignment. You are sovereign, and so am I. And my oversoul don't do entanglements. My oversoul don't do karma, because we ascending. So it has to be in alignment. When you are in alignment, it goes through right away. Why do you think that is? I got one of the top website hosts, Wix. It's not some little flimsy website. So no, it's not a glitch. It's an alignment. And just the very same that I know how to set up that Scalar command and that energy alignment with my website, there are people that don't know what they're doing. Sometimes they're unconsciously, because they've given their power away to these entities that work with the same technology that I'm working with. They just do it in a different way. And once you're locked in, once you buy a ticket, once you say that you're going to join something, once you give your energy to something, right away, you're in. There's plenty of people invite me to do things with them. If it's not Krystic and it's not aligned, it won't happen. And I don't have to force it. Because again, my oversoul don't play. So you got to use discernment. So let's take a breath. Because I want you to know that if you feel called to honor the eclipse, and you should, because these are sacred days, they are. If you feel called to honor the eclipse, first and foremost, set a personal temple space, a sacred space. I've done events in the past. When I do events, it's 5 people. Not even, I'm 10 people, maybe. And all of those people, again, because of the coding, it has to be a Krystic alignment. In the event, we are all shielded. If you go to an event and they do not start that event off by shielding, and I'm not talking about some, let's call in white light. No, if they're not running that sequence, if it's not anything guardian approved, you come on, you all know this by now. I wouldn't mess with anything that isn't guardian approved. And you also have to be mindful of those claiming to be guardians, because there's a lot of people that mimic, that regurgitate the teachings, but they don't embody it. If they start out and they're not talking about shielding, and again, it's not, let's call in white light, let's call in the angels. The minute they say, run. Okay? The best thing you can do for yourself is create sacred space for yourself. You could do it in your home. You can go out in nature. Work alone. Or if you're going to work with people that are on the Krystic path as well. First and foremost, you all know you're going to start off, everybody's going to shield, be in their own shield, right? Bringing through that multidimensional stream of Krystic clarity. Anchor in your oversoul. Place your hands on your 𝑬𝑗-RA and the center. The center of your 𝑬𝑗-RA is your thymus. Okay, do it now. And then you can repeat these command codes. Sha-Lun-Ah, Ecka-RA, HAH-kah. And I'll put it in the description, I'll put it in the description. And it basically just translates to, I now anchor the Kryst Oversoul flame within this body. Again, run your shield. Visualize that pillar of pale silver light descending from the 12D into your body. Seal the pillar with golden sphere at your solar plexus. For those of you who have my auric shield, put both of those together. That's why I put those together. It's all plasma-based Krystic shielding. The auric shielding is it's advanced plasma shielding. And so that's why I don't offer it or teach it on public platforms. But if you have it, if you've taken the Ascension Protocol or any of the other things that I've done and you do have it, utilize it in conjunction with the Maharic Shield. Stay sovereign, beloveds. Don't give your power away. You don't need anyone to activate you. You're already connected to Source. My activations are remembrance. I'm helping you to remember. Okay? That's what's happening. The activation is a remembrance. Nobody's giving you your strands. You are activating your strands. Anything that you hear from me, it's a remembrance. Now, I want you to also know what to look out for. We talked about it before, but I really want you to understand that a lot of these false light events and facilitators, some of them don't know, some of them do. First and foremost, anybody asking you to surrender your will or say give permission to, bye. Goodbye. If they're asking for a merge, right? That false unity consciousness merge with the field. No, it's a no. If they're talking about if they talk about light codes, but they don't talk about scalar mechanics in conjunction with that, run. If you hear them mimicking, if they're just saying buzzwords, using phrases, glamour, the spiritual Hollywood, that glamour stuff. Or if when you're doing the event, you feel drained, you should never, ever feel drained. Anything that I do and I produce, people feel you're high for hours. That's the way you should feel. You should not feel drained. You shouldn't feel tired. You shouldn't feel like something is siphoning you. Right away, it's going to tell you. And again, I'm not pointing fingers outward. We've all been there. If you haven't, great. You got in, before we cleaned up the mess. We're cleaning up the mess now. No more false light. We are Krystic. We are on the Krystic path. So, unfortunately, a lot of these mass gatherings, the facilitators are very charismatic, right? But it's time for us to stop worshiping charisma. Just because someone looks really good, like I say, when I was into all that false light stuff, the archangels is hot. They look good, right? Oh, Archangel Michael and Raphael and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, no. Not all that glitters is gold. Some of the darkest beings look really good. Really charismatic. Be mindful. And I'm not saying that if somebody is taking care of themselves, if they're clean, if they're polished, that means that they're false. No. But there's this, you could tell, the spiritual Hollywood playing up to the camera, pretending to be something that they are not, which is Krystic, which is in alignment. And again, this is not about talking crap about facilitators. This is about you using discernment for glamour, because it exists, and it exists for a reason, to glamorize you, to trick you. So we've got to get past this assumption that because someone sounds loving and they sound clear and they're speaking angelic and they're wearing all these angelic robes and they're standing on the top of the mountains of Sedona and they're and doing all that stuff, that they are Krystic. It's about energy literacy. It's about your DNA. It's about your right to ascend free from distortion, and it is possible. So if you don't know how to discern fields, then don't open yourself up to anyone else until you do. Let this eclipse be different. Let all of them, if you're listening to this after this eclipse has passed, every time you approach an eclipse, an equinox, any of these things, let it be different. Let it be sacred. Let it be yourself. Let it be Krystic. Take a breath with me. And let's close this video with a command code. Karasha, Eka-Shana-Hati. We now seal this field in Krystic hosts and restore all light to the organic eternal flame. Sha'ah-Veha.